Hey there, my name is Miska and welcome to HitScan. We're looking at some news. We've got a brand new Ask Valorant with some questions answered from the Riot development team. And we've got Ryan here because we're checking out all of this together, and we've got a little bit of a tease about some upcoming skins content as well. So, well, let's start with that. Just before we get into that though, a quick word from our sponsor. Thank you Omen for sponsoring this video. Check out their new Omen 15, a slick looking gaming laptop which runs Valorant really well on its 144Hz monitor, so you can play at 144 FPS on max settings and record. You got 10th generation i7 CPUs and you got RTX 20 series GPUs from Nvidia for great performance. Check them out in the description. With that, let's get back to the video.
So there is a partnership between Valorant and Prime Gaming, which used to be called Twitch Prime. You know, the whole pay a monthly sum and you'll get some loot. I think there's some League of Legends stuff in there at the moment. There were the tweets from the Play Valorant account saying exclusives are incoming with this image, but also a post that came up exactly tailoring what stuff has been involved in this. The main question is, what will you be able to get? And they say we're kicking things off next week on September the 16th with the Netter gun buddy straight from our collection of our resident sneakerhead Killjoy, which we assume is probably going to be the shoes that she was teased with in the store on Split, if I'm to give a guess. The loot will be available to anybody with an active Amazon Prime membership, and they'll be providing in-game items like gun buddies, sprays and more to place for free. I was hoping to see some more, even like a gun spray. We might get that in the future, but they do go on how to sign up for Amazon Prime and all that stuff. But this is what it's going to be, and it seems that there's going to be more stuff in the future.
Yeah, we've already seen the player card. Do you remember that one from watching back when? If you didn't get a drop, at least you got that player card, but people are definitely quite sick of Valorant drops from back in April. But yeah, for example, League of Legends has a skin shard thing you can get from the loot, the Prime Gaming loot, as it's called now, not Twitch Prime anymore. Gonna be interesting to see. We'll probably see it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, something along those lines. And yeah, on to the next thing, which is Ask Valorant stuff and some answers about some pretty interesting community questions. We have some things that the community got pretty upset at actually last time, and that is sound. Last time they talked about sound and people having issues with locating where players were at or where footsteps were coming from, that sort of stuff. It seemed like the answer was a little bit kind of like, hey, we actually have the tech for it, and this is kind of why you're wrong. That's how a lot of people took that answer, and they actually responded to this in the latest Ask Valorant, saying the following: about that audio question last time, can you just tell us if HRTF is coming? It's basically improved positional audio, and they specifically say right at the start that, sorry if it seemed like my original response came across as a we know better. They're going to be working on implementing HRTF though, and talking a little bit more about it here, and that implementation plans have started, and that they hope to start working on it and getting it into the game around October time. So yeah, looking forward to that and seeing if we get any particular sound updates, but that's straight from Peter Zinda, the audio director. And well, next up we have some interesting news, more about skins actually, not necessarily Prime skins this time, but some interesting options here that people have been asking for a while.
Certainly when it comes to using radianite to upgrade skins, you know, the current feature and current system that is in the game is if you have a skin set, I'm sure Misk will show gameplay in the background, if you want to get all of the variants, you need to buy them one on top of the other with the radianite. So if there's one really at the end, like a tier 7, you have to go through tier 5, 6 and to get there. Now that's not going to be the case. There's going to be specific weapon skin variants that will become available with patch 1.09. Players will be able to select any variant that they want. Weapon skills will still need to be fully evolved to unlock variants, but after doing so, you'll be able to pick whichever one is more appealing to you. That came from Usury, who is the revenue strategist, and this is something that I think we've been speaking about a lot. Certainly when Elder Flame came out, which was a really expensive bundle that people would have to pay more money for if they wanted to upgrade them to like the Neverstorm Black and Blue. So this is a nice change, but I wonder, not likely, if people will be refunded for buying out the full like sets of skins that we've had in the past, because I bought out all of the Oni ones, for example.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they tracked that and that they're able to refund that, but I mean, would be cool, but I'm not expecting it, to be honest. Anyway, we got a little bit more stuff, some questions that have been cleared up. Not regarding skins anymore, we're done with that, thank God. But we do have some things regarding kills affecting combat score. Well, that's the question at least. Is it true that there's an extra importance on the frags, aka kills, when it comes to getting a good combat score? If so, do you plan on increasing the recognition of assists and other forms of contributions to your team? Spotting or slowing enemies, healing allies, etc. They do answer saying your combat score is not just based on kills, although that is a big factor in the score. We also look at damage inflicted, meaning that assists where you help kill an enemy are taken into account, as well as utility that does damage. There are some other factors that help inform your combat score, such as first bloods and streaks. These are called out on the combat score tooltip. Longer term, we are looking into ways to incorporate non-damaging assists into your combat score as well. Regarding competitive, while your combat score indicates how well you performed in core combat during the game, it's not one-on-one with the performance calculations we use for your rank updates. Rank updates leverage some, not only, of these data points. What? That makes no sense, right? That's not English. I'm pretty sure that's not English. Okay,
I like the way you whispered it, like, do we cut this? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Simply put, the focus of whether or not your rank updates is primarily focused on wins and the decisiveness of these wins. Now, there is actually a little thing in game that does say that, for example, the Sage heal would help you rank up. If you just heal a bunch of people, then, you know, they do account for that. It's kind of like using an ability in a successful way, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense, and I imagine that's why they don't go into it too much. Obviously, they don't want to talk about how they calculate your rank too much. It's obviously in their best interest to not reveal everything.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like I can understand people's frustration with the system, and I think it's really easy to take a screenshot of your recent matches and show how you've ranked down unfairly, or you haven't ranked up in a lot of cases when you've got like 8 wins, for example. There's a lot of that that's easy to post on Reddit and go, the system doesn't work, but at least they're sort of coming out and saying this. I think it is important that people can easily assume that combat score will have a huge impact on your game. There's also something else real quick that I wanted to mention. If you go to your career tab and you see the stars in your performance history, it's basically there to say you've done better than the MMR system has expected you to do. A silver star means that you've exceeded expectations in the game that you were in, you've done better than the rank that you are at currently, and a gold star means that you've really punched above your weight. Pat on the back not included from Ian Fielding, who is a senior producer. I like those little touches. I think ranked can definitely evolve and improve over time, which is certainly something that Riot are looking to do. But I do appreciate having something like Ask Valorant answering some of these questions that, yeah, nobody's really asking about the stars all that much when it comes to performance history. But like talking about the skins and the sound especially, I do find it funny how Peter Zinder did say with the audio that like his original response came off as "we know better," because that's pretty much what we said. Everybody else in the other Ask Valorant was like, yeah, we're looking at this, we're gonna fix it, and he was like, yep, this is how it is. It's like, okay, like,
yeah, he just laid it out for you. Yeah,
it seemed maybe a bit stubborn to begin with, but the fact that they're turning around on a couple of these things is actually kind of exciting, and I hope that they look at some other stuff that's also controversial and go, we're going to look into it and do more, which we know that they're listening at least. There's another thing that I did want to add on to the end of this video. With the sort of new weekly missions, apparently 2 only went through instead of 3. Play Valorant tweeted about this if you don't use Twitter or whatever you want to see it. But they're compensating by adding an extra weekly mission next week, so you'll have 4 instead of 3, which is good when you have like the new skins and patch stuff probably coming out, considering it's been every 2 weeks. Reducing the mission requirement to 35 ult uses, which thank God, because I hate using the ultimate 50 times. And also adding 2000 XP to the mission as a bonus. So in case you're wondering where that went and if you've been cheated out of it, that should rectify, if not make it a little bit better for you.
Yeah, great stuff. It's all getting fixed next patch. Basically, if you notice that there's just 2 missions, then don't panic. That's about it for this time though. Thank you Omen for sponsoring this video. We have to make videos on the go sometimes, and with Omen's laptops we can do that quite well. We've been using them for years, and the brand new Omen 15 is looking really slick. I love this design. It runs Valorant super well. thanks to its NVIDIA GeForce RTX 20 series graphics cards, the Intel 10th Gen i7 CPUs. There's loads of storage options too, including PCIe SSDs, which is great news. Those things load your games really fast. And there's some interesting cooling tech in here as well to keep temps under control. Our favorite thing though is that the 144Hz monitor lets us play at a high frame rate whilst recording or streaming. If you're looking for a laptop, then check out the Omen 15 via the link in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video, and make sure to hit the bell and you know, click that all notifications button as well, because normally it's just on personalized, I think. So if you press that, we like you a lot, and we definitely need more people to press that, because I think our percentage of people that have hit the bell is quite low. So help us out with that, and like if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.